All right, hello and welcome to the Hobart Brickies versus the Griffith Panthers of the 2020 season. I am William Hall, and I am joined with...
Kevin Ray.
And I'm Luke Weinman.
Guys, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
I'm doing all right as well. How about yourself?
You know what, doing just fantastic here on this Friday night of some football.
Hell yeah.
Looking to see a good rebound game from Hobart here. Recently, they just came off of a heartbreaking loss at home against Maryville, so let's see what they can do against Griffith.
Yeah, the offense came out last game a little flat, but looking to turn it around here against Griffin.
Absolutely, and you know, through this week of practice, you hope to make some of those adjustments, and you just hope to see that those adjustments are finally going to pay off. And obviously, we're going to see with Hobart how that actually is going to pan out. And if you are joining into the game just now, if you had watched last week, you had seen that the Hobart Brickies went against the Maryville Pirates in a heartbreaking loss from 23-7 to the Maryville Pirates. It was a very good game, I would have to say, on my part. The defense was very
strong.
Very present, I would have to say.
Yeah.
Both defenses had a very good showing. I mean, do you guys have anything?
I mean, I would have to agree. The defenses held pretty well, only giving up a total of 30 combined between the two teams. Not a very high-scoring game, very defensive-oriented. Well, not much more to say.
You can't really look at just score, though, because I don't know if you remember, but there was one player on Maryville. His name was Laverion Logan. He just ran circles around Maryville's defense. They just happened to not score on every run.
Yeah. You know, when you have a running back in the backfield that is just tearing up a field, you can't take him off and make him go cold. You know, you got that running back, he's doing leaps and bounds. You know, I wouldn't go so far as Marshawn Lynch-like, but I would say he is definitely pushing the pace, making sure the team is going the right pace. And when you just have that happening and that synergy, you have to take it and run with it.
Yeah, it was quite the two-person package that they had with Logan and JoJo Johnson, who had 2 touchdowns in that last game as well. Very, very lightning and thunder kind of duo.
So Hobart's coming in right now. Griffith is still warming up. They got here a little late. But tonight is senior night for the Hobart Brickies. We're going to end up seeing a lot of the seniors from the football team. You know, you're going to see the seniors from the athletic training team. And you're going to see some of the seniors from this crew alone. You know, through the entire program, it's just well ran, I would have to say. Very
totally
well
agree.
ran.
Yes.
You know, just Hobart by themselves. What the athletic department lets us do is leaps and bounds over, I would say, what you can see from other schools around here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just for example, Griffith, they only started allowing playing sports just a week or two ago.
That is true.
Hobart's been playing for about a month, maybe 2 months. Griffith actually, like I just mentioned, they had just started up, and so we're probably going to be seeing someone somewhat out of shape, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a little bit of rust to see for Griffith tonight.
I'd have to say, you know, I'd have to concur with you guys. You're going to see a lot of that rust being knocked off here in this first game for Griffith. But don't be too sleepish on Griffith.
Yeah.
Griffith has always been that sleeper team that will come back to bite you.
Yeah. And they're probably hunting for blood tonight because last year they had a very hard game against Hobart. So probably looking out for revenge tonight.
Yes, I think it was upwards of 50-0.
It was in the 60s.
Oh, it was in the 60s.
It was a very bad beatdown. Looking for revenge tonight, probably.
I remember being down on the sidelines last year. That was there was very many of those games that were shutouts, and there was very high energy in the locker room when all that happens. Because not only do you get to have your varsity out, you get to have your JV out. And even sometimes, if we brought on freshmen, you get to let the freshmen play.
Yep.
And it's just an exciting experience for them and for us to see some of the younger guys get that experience that's really just going to push them to want it more when they get higher up in the classes.
Definitely.
So right now, we're going to head and take a look to the Hobart Band. So as you see now, these are going to be the Hobart Band students, going through their senior night. The senior night festivities are some of those very special moments when it does happen to be your senior year and you get to have that sad day of it being senior night, your last night at home, on your home field. It's one of those very special, but one of those very sad moments, I would have to say.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this senior night is actually not the most accurate, I would have to say. This is not the last home game for Hobart. However, with the current pandemic right now, a lot of schools are pushing it forward.
I feel bad. A lot of schools, I heard, are actually canceling their senior nights because they don't want to have many fans crowd up into the stands.
Yep.
That is very true. I know for obviously at least Hobart it is senior night, but as well as Andrean High School is senior night tonight. I believe possibly Valparaiso as well.
I do not know.
Yeah, I'm not positive on that one. We'll have to check in on that. While we're waiting for the festivities to go over and for the action to really start, go ahead and type in the chat what you guys are looking most forward to tonight, or what you think the final score of this game is going to be. Let us know in the chat.
We got our first prediction for what the outcome of the score is going to be from Mike Brown, 50-0 Hobart.
Oh, a very close repeat to last year, I see. What do you guys think about that one?
I don't know about exactly 50, but I could see it.
What do you think, Luke?
Honestly, I feel like it might be even more because Griffith's roster is very thin, so they're going to have no depth. They're going to get super tired within like the first couple quarters, and I think Hobart's just going to capitalize on it.
I would have to agree with you on that. Get very tired very early with this thin roster.
Both of you are very correct. As you can see with the lack of experience just with the practicing, I would have to see this is going to be a very interesting, way the game's going to turn out. You're going to see Hobart, who has 2 games under the belt, two strong games, I would have to say, 1 win and 1 loss. And, Griffith, I would hate to say it, come out on flat feet.
Especially with only a little less than 10 seniors also coming out. It's going to be tough for Griffith.
Very much so.
Our next senior is Cassie Cruz, escorted by her mother, Bridget Laura. Our next senior is Mary Daw, escorted by her parents, Luke and John Daw. Our next senior is Delaney O'Brien, escorted by her parents, Jean and Carol O'Brien. Our next senior is Caitlin Watts, escorted by her parents.
So go ahead in the chat. Let us know what you thought about that end zone camera. It is a very new addition to our setup. We are still working out some bugs, but we're hoping to bring it into effect tonight.
Our final senior member of the cheerleading squad is Vanessa Cepeda, escorted by her parents, Ramiro and Nicole Cepeda. Our next senior is a member of the video crew. His name is Terry Fuller, escorted by his parents, Zach and Jill. We have two student athletic training seniors. Our first one is Lainey Troback, escorted by her parents, Chris Troback and Christine Heatherly. And our second senior student athletic trainer is Ashley Montalvo, escorted by her parents, Jennifer Anderson and Jesse Montalvo. Our last group of students would be senior members of the Hobart Brickies. Our first senior, number 3, Riley Jackson. Escorted by her parents, Jimmy Tyler Jackson. Our next senior, number 6, Carly Potter, escorted by his mother, Elizabeth Potter. Our next senior, number 11, Bobby Babcock, escorted by his father, Larry Babcock, and his aunt Liz Babcock. Our next senior, number 12, Logan Kingery, escorted by his parents, Brent and Sarah. 17, Nathan Pisarski. Escorted by his mother, Rachel Pisarski. Our next senior, number 18, Ryan Ellis. Escorted by his parents, Vicky and Lisa Ellis. Our next senior, number 23, Julian Ruiz. Escorted by his parents, Jose and Maria Ruiz. Our next senior, number 26, Frankie DeBus. Escorted by his parents, Frankie and Melissa DeBus. Our next senior, number 30, Ben Ward. Escorted by his parents, Ryan and Eve Ward. Our next senior, number 34, Nestor Velasquez, escorted by his mother, Bryn Segovia. Our next senior, number 47, Tyler Turley, escorted by his parents, Ryan and Amy Turley. Our next senior, number 50, Tyler Branham, escorted by his mother, Crystal Wagner. Our next senior, number 51, Matt Supernod, escorted by his parents, Jim and Ariane Supernod. Our next senior, number 52, Hayden McLeod, escorted by his parents, Lee and Vicky. Our next senior, number 56, Orlando Heyman, escorted by his mother, Sharice. Our next senior, number 59, Cameron Smith, escorted by his parents, Pete and Jessica Smith. Our next senior, number 67, Cole Gutierrez, escorted by his parents, Eddie and Jen Gutierrez. Our next senior, number 78, James Lewis, escorted by his parents, Isaac and Barbara Carr. Our next senior, number 83, Zach Hose, escorted by his parents, Steve and Melissa Rose.
And that there is your Hobart High School seniors for the 2020 fall season of football.
Always remember, once a Brickie, always a Brickie. Congratulations to our 2020 seniors. We wish you the very best of luck to all the Hobart seniors. How about a big round of applause for the Lions students and their families.
Currently got around 16 and a half minutes before opening kickoff.
Now, as we're waiting, what are you guys hoping to see this awesome fall day of football? What are you hoping to see tonight
I'm
from
hoping
both teams?
lots of offense, hoping for a shootout. Don't
look-
know if we'll get that.
I'm looking for a bit of spice. I mean, if we're looking at Griffith here, and we've already mentioned several times before that their roster isn't that big, if we start going up by a lot, I want to see some kind of flashy.
Okay, so what are you talking? You talking like some trick plays?
I don't know, some sort of trick play, a fake punt. You never know.
Oh,
Hail
don't
Mary.
fake the punt when you're up big. It's not
mean-
sportsmanlike.
I mean, you can do it in Madden.
Yeah, you can do it in Madden. Doesn't make it sportsmanlike.
I mean, you got a point.
It's a, as you can see, large senior group for the Brickies this year, and to contrast with the relatively small group of seniors on Griffith tonight. So the experience also definitely in the hands of the Brickies tonight.
Hobart's definitely a very experienced team age-wise, because I'm looking at the roster here, and there's just as many juniors as there are seniors, if not more. So we're looking towards an even better season this coming up year.
You know, that is always the hope when you talk football and you talk Hobart Bricky football specifically. You know, last year had that awesome run all the way into semi-state, just couldn't make it to state. You know, that's always been the goal for Hobart Brickies, make it back to state. However, is this team really going to do it?
I think so. I've been watching this group for a long time. Came up through high school with them, and I think they're a very strong group, and I think they can get it done.
I couldn't agree more. No one really thought that Hobart was going to go make it all the way to semi-state last year, and then they made it. So now that the spotlight's on them, I think they're going to shine even farther. Let's say they may even go to state.
So what you're telling me that you think when the stage is all set, all the lights are on them, you think they're going to perform?
Sure.
I would have to say that is 100% my belief in this team.
Well, I do know that there's plenty of believers and plenty of doubters out there. You know, let us know in the chat. I would hope to see a whole bunch of state, but let's see, how far do you think the Brickies are going to go? Or what do you think their record is going to be for this season? Let us know in the chat. So we're looking at just about 13 minutes until kickoff. The crowd is so excited here at Brickyard. You know, you can just tell the intensity in the air. They're really wanting this win from last week. You know, I think they're going to do it, but that's all dependent on how they, you know, react from adversity.
I'm getting kind of antsy. I'm getting excited. The energy in the stadium, at least for the Hobart side, is just giving me the chills.
So we're going to go ahead and thank some of our sponsors. You know, we have Aloso Construction. Thank you so much for what you have done for the program. We have Fuller Commercial Photography. They have helped us with the end zone cam. And, of course, last but not least, we have the School City of Hobart. Now, if you one of the listeners or wanting to become some of our sponsors, please get in contact with us. We would love to have you on.
We got a question in the comments here. What is your guys' thoughts on MC Chesterton? I'm assuming Michigan City versus Chesterton?
Ooh, Michigan City versus Chesterton. You know, that is a very... It already sounds like a very good game, you know. Michigan City, I'm not too positive about last week, but I know they had a very good, you know, start to the season with that first game. Chesterton, on the other hand, we all know how that went with Hobart in the first game. You know, they came out strong, fought very hard, but fizzled out toward the end. I'm thinking, if you're asking me for a prediction right now, I'm going to have to go Michigan City 13, Chesterton 12. It's going to be that close.
I'd have to agree with the closeness on it, and I'd have to agree with the result, but I will not agree with the score. I will say 24-21, Michigan City.
Could you refresh my memory on the score of Hobart versus Chesterton?
24-10.
24-10?
Brickies.
I think if Chesterton can hold a powerhouse like Hobart to only 24 points, I think the Chesterton defense is going to walk all over Michigan City. Chesterton 17, Maryville 3.
You really think so, huh?
I do.
Well, thank you for the question. We're obviously going to have to find out. We're going to try and keep everybody updated with all the scores around the region, but we are here focused on the Hobart Brickies versus the Griffith Panthers. And, you know, we're about 10 minutes away from the start of this game. Just the amount of anticipation, can't say it enough. You can feel it in the crowd. You can see it in the crowd. You know, I hope these players are definitely feeling it.
Oh, yeah. The culture for Hobart football, surrounding it with the fans, the coaches, all the players, it's a magnificent experience being in any part of it. I can say from experience as a former player and a former fan. So, fantastic culture.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Luke?
You can see all the cars lining up in the parking lot, and you can just see loads and loads of people still walking into the stadium. Game hasn't started quite yet, but I think there's going to be a packed stadium for this game.
You know, we are following the social distance guidelines. We are 6 feet apart. I know it may not look like it on the camera, but we are. We know we all have our masks. We just ask for the people at home, please stay safe. Whenever you do have to leave, limit it a little bit. Try and have a mask on. It always helps the rest of the community, I would have to say.
Limiting the spread by wearing your mask can lead to teams like Griffith being able to finally play their fall sports.
And, you know, that is kind of funny, but it is true. You know, sadly that this team of Griffith players did not get to have the full season like they hoped. They are 2 weeks behind, and they are very limited on what they have been able to do just game-wise and roster-wise, sadly. So we are going to go ahead and get ready to take a look at the Hobart High School Band. Get ready to do the national anthem, I would say, here in a few short minutes. So we are just still here patiently waiting. If you guys in the chat have any more questions, go ahead and type them in, and we will be sure to answer them. You know, I am a Hobart High School alumni. I have a Hobart senior in here with me and a Hobart freshman, so you have a very good range from high schooler knowledge. I know it is not the best. However, it's I would say pretty okay,
I'd
maybe
say it's
good.
solid.
Pretty solid, I would have to say. Let us know what you guys think of the chat. We're gonna go ahead and switch. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and switch to the Hobart High School Marching Band.
The colors tonight are presented by members of the Hobart High School JROTC Color Guard under the guidance of First Sergeant Leo Marshall.
Hobart High School will now be presenting the colors. So, like we had said before, if you have any questions or any of your, what you're thinking, we're thinking, as the casters, I would have to say, what you want to know, what we're thinking, go ahead and type it in the chat. Go ahead, give us some ideas, give us what you want to know, what you need to know, and we'll let you know if we can give you that. And we will now be welcoming your Hobart Brickies. And of course, we got a little Bricky all the way to the right.
You gotta love that they let him do that.
Gotta love it.
Gotta have great experience.
And here we go. Welcome your 2020 Hobart Brickies, going to be taking on the Griffith Panthers. Hobart Brickies are taking a prayer right now. And it looks like they are ready to get this game rolling just like we are up here in the booth. And it looks like the theme for tonight for the student section is Hawaiian, if I'm not mistaken.
Currently got about a minute until kickoff, and it looks like we got around 100 viewers.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's go ahead and keep that viewer count up. We love to see you guys watching. We love to know that our voices are being heard among the city and among the world. So we are going to go ahead and go to the coin toss. So it looks like Hobart has won the toss, and they are going to receive.
"20 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you are ready for some Hobart Bricky football on this beautiful Friday night. If you have not gone outside in the region in Northwest Indiana, it is gorgeous out here. A brisk 70 degrees, possibly 68, I would have to say. But it looks like by the time this game's going to end, it's going to be right about 65. Perfect football weather, I'd have to say.
Beautiful night tonight.
That's perfect for any type of sport. 65 degrees, that's like, that's
Pinpoint.
perfect.
But let's all be honest now. Perfect type of weather for football is when it's in the winter and it's snowing like it
True.
was last year for the Hobart Brickies. And here we go. Oh, a little bit of a mix-up in the back. It looks like he's going to be taken out by Bobby Babcock. A good little bit of a return. He's going to be taken down right about the 20.
Fake handoff by Johnston.
It's going to be
Pass.
oh, it's going to be
incomplete.
an incomplete
Intended
pass.
for Vode.
It will be 2nd and 10.
Vode in motion. Handoff. Vode.
Oh, he's going to be
Takes
going
it.
to the
Oh, he's
outside.
He
Oh,
has a
lot
long,
of
wide
room.
open field.
Takes the juke,
Very,
gets more
very
yards.
long
He's still
run, and
going.
he stayed in bounds.
Down at what appears to be the Griffith 27-yard line. Quite the opening run from Vode.
And I would have to say that is just how you want to start your quarter off if you are the Hobart Brickies.
Quite the momentum starter. Johnston in shotgun formation.
Another handoff. Oh,
Seemed
Well,
like a fake to Enslin.
got me fooled.
Got a little short of the line of scrimmage.
Looks
Should
like it's-
make it 2nd and 10.
That ball is going to be placed on the 27 still.
Johnston once again in the shotgun formation. Enslin directly to his behind.
Oh, it's looking like it's
Looks
going to
up
be
for
a
a throw.
pass. Oh, it is actually a screen, but that is gobbled up. They are going to call that not a catch.
3rd and 10. Let's see what they can do here.
First 3rd down for the Brickies.
You know, this is really where you're going to see if they worked on some of those kinks that they had in that last game last week against Maryville.
Had some
We're-
major offensive struggles.
That is indeed. I think they ended up punting on every 4th down that they had besides one, and that was their scoring round.
Boys think they can pull it off?
Option Johnston.
Looks like he's going to be taken out of bounds.
Looks about the 23-yard line.
And it looks to be 4th and 7.
So now it's decision to make. Do we go for it early here, or do we take our field goal?
You know, if I'm Coach Osika, obviously I'm not of the caliber of him, but I would definitely say go for it on this one.
Yeah, it could be a huge momentum swing. Push you right ahead.
I think it's just a bit too early in the game to start going for 4th down plays.
Well, it
especially
seems
from
like
7 yards
Osika
out.
disagrees with you.
He disagrees with a lot of us, I would have to
Pass.
say. Oh, big pass over to Vode.
Goes up and it is incomplete.
But it looks like it will be incomplete. That is going to be a change of downs going to the Griffith Panthers. That will be a 1st down, what looks to be on the 23.
So the risk does not pay off, but I cannot call that drive a disappointment for the Brickies with a good start to their offensive play today.
You know, absolutely not. Very strong, very, very strong presence right off the beat. Just couldn't convert it on this one.
And good news for Hobart, they've got him way back in their own half.
Looks like it's going to be a keeper out to the left. And he's going to be throwing it, but it's going to be incomplete as he is taken down hard by Jacob Simpson.
Second and 10 here for the Griffith Panthers.
So let's go ahead and see what they do here. You know, they tried a little bit, I would say a little bit of trickery, trying to get a screen pass off just like the Brickies did. Sadly, did not work, was gobbled up right quick. And looks like it's going to be a handoff off to the left side, out wide. But that's going to be Riley Johnson going and pulling him out of bounds.
Johnston and a little bit of help from Smith on the tackle. Brings up 3rd down.
5 yards gain on the play. It's 3rd and 5. Let's see what Griffith can do.
Let's see if this Hobart squad can hold them against themselves. Oh, a little bit of a mix-up.
Gobble up in the backfield, and the ball is loose.
Oh, and it's still going loose, but it will be recovered by the Panthers.
All the way inside their own 10-yard line.
When I said I was looking
7.
When I said I was looking for something exciting, that's not quite what I had in mind, but
You know, I don't think that's what anybody had in mind, but that is what happens, like we were saying earlier. This is really where you're going to find your troubles.
Yeah, that lack of experience on Griffith's offense might be a big issue for them.
that play brought them back 18 yards.
It's going to be 4th and 26.
Looking to punt.
It looks like we have 2 returners in the back.
Dropped.
But it will be recovered by the Brickies.
That was Julian Ruiz on the catch.
So it looks to be a change of downs on the Panthers' 48, actually.
That was a great punt by Griffith. Almost 50 yards.
You know, I don't know if I would say great punt, but it got the job done, I would have to say. You know,
Agree.
you're all the way back on your 8. You know, you're punting from the 1. Got to get it as far away as possible. You did your job. Looks like it's going to be a handoff at the middle.
Handoff to Enslin.
Going to be a good run. And he's going to be brought down right about the 43, 42. I think they're going to mark it on the 43.
Good run to start the drive there.
Looks to be 2nd and 4.
Keep that rushing attack up.
It looks like we're going to have a ref timeout really fast. Oh, it looks like an offensive lineman is actually hurt. It looks to be the left tackle.
That is number 72.
Amen Hicks. You know, and you hate to see it, but injuries are very evident in the sport of football. It is not an easy sport whatsoever on the body, nor is it in the mind, I would have to say. That is becoming very prevalent with some concussions nowadays.
Yeah, the constant threat of CTE is a big, scary thing in the world of football today.
That's going to be a killer loss for Hobart's O-line. Amon Hicks was 6'1", 260 pounds. That's going to be a big loss.
That's a big boy right there. That, you know, you were definitely 100% correct. That is a very large loss for the Brickies on their offensive line early in this game.
And it's such a crucial position, such as left tackle, protecting the blind side of the quarterback. Could be quite bad.
Johnson's going to take the snap, and it's going to be a handoff right up the middle.
Stays on his feet.
And it looks like Enslin is going to be taking the carry. He is going to be getting the first down for the Hobart Brickies.
About a rush of 5.
And it looks like he's going to be stopped right on the 36. Well, I tell you, this running attack by the Hobart Brickies, what they have shown so far, is much, much better from what they had experienced last week.
Getting much more push, getting through those holes. Very, very effective this first couple drives. Handoff Enslin once again. And he will be taken down at about the 33-yard line. Gain of about 3. That'll come up with second down and about 7.
Looks to be officially 2nd and 8. Let's go ahead and see what the Bricks are going to do here. Oh, looks
Play
like it's going to
action.
be a fake. Down the sideline to
field to
Zach
Bode.
Bode,
Zach
and he's going to be
Bode.
going out of bounds right about the 13-yard line.
Great timing for a play action play, getting your momentum on the ground, and just at the right time, pull it out and throw it.
Most definitely. You know, I hate to see it. I hate to say it, I should say. You know, that is a very prevalent strat in Madden. You just keep running it, and then you hit him with that play action pass and you make it go far.
We don't talk about Madden. The game's broken.
You know, you are very right on that one. And it looks like it's going to be a run right down the middle with Bobby Babcock. Going to get them a couple yards here. It looks like he's going to be stopped right on the 8-yard line. Looks to be about second and 5, I would say. And here we go. We're going to see two wide receivers down onto the bottom of your screen and one up top, man-to-man, right by himself. What are you thinking here? You know, you got 2 running backs in the back.
2 big
Oh, it looks
receivers.
like they're going to take a run right up the middle. That's going to give them a good amount of yards again. That's going to bring them right down to the 4-yard line. And it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1 down on the 4-yard line on the Panther side.
Hobart offense is knocking on Griffith's door right now. Maybe the first score of the game.
I can
know,
see it.
You know, very much so. Showing themselves very strong so far in this opening drive. Well, not opening drive, opening couple of drives. And it looks like it's going to be a run up the middle again by Bobby Babcock, and the pile is going to be pushed. They're going to give them the first down, though, on
Roughly
the
the
Panthers.
2
Yeah, I would have to
from
say
where
the
I'm
Panthers
seeing the
too.
referee.
That is going to be 1st and goal.
Seems Babcock's helmet is off. Perhaps came off in the play. He will probably have to sit out the play due to the helmet.
Let's see what the Brickies are going to do here. And it looks like Johnson's going to hand it off,
Hand off.
right? Oh, no, it's going to be
No,
a
it's a
fake.
boot.
And he's going to make it into the end zone.
That
That's
is
going to
a
be
touchdown,
a Bricky touchdown
Brickies.
by Riley Johnston.
Senior quarterback. He has been leading this team for the past 2 years, and he has done a good job doing so.
Yes, the third-year varsity man is very much showing his experience out here on the field right now.
Always love a quarterback that can do you both. Throw the ball, run the ball.
And like we said last week, that is one of the best things about Riley Johnson. He is that dual-threat QB. He can burn you on the outside, but he also has that cannon that he can bomb it down the field.
Yeah. Multi-purpose. Jankovic to kick.
And the kick is looked to be good.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
that
good.
is
That
good.
is sure.
Quite the drive for the Brickies. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
You know, I would have to say, very impressive with what the Brickies have done so far on their opening couple of drives. You know, I think this was their second drive, and they're already in the end zone. Very polar opposite of what they had last week, I would have to say.
Indeed. The mixed attack also, the ability to throw this game has been a very helpful factor in it.
Oh,
Gives
yeah.
a bit more diversity to that offense.
Oh, yeah. What do you think, Luke?
I think for Hobart finally being allowed to run, last week, I don't know if you remember, but the Maryville defense would just constantly shut down that run. That was a morale killer. For in this game, Griffith is not doing as well for that run game, so I think that's giving Hobart offense a bit more momentum to make these solid games.
Definitely. Making it much more of a easy, grind you down rushing attack. Perfect. Perfect.
And you guys are going to be able to see us here in the booth. We are in our beautiful booth here. We have our own booth finally. We sat outside last week, and now we are official. We are fancified.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
You know, it feels really good. So, you know, I don't want to toot my own horn, but be recognized.
Yes.
I'm just playing, guys. But no, it feels great to be in a booth, get some of these experiences out of the way, and watch a great game of football, I have to say.
I'd agree.
Those of you in the comments, what do you guys think of Hobart's scoring drive? We'd love to hear it.
Also, the substitute left tackle, James Lewis, did a great job on that drive, filling in the spot for the injured Hicks. Great job.
You know, and that is something that Hobart is known for. You very much so must be ready to go at any point in time.
Definitely.
So we're going to go ahead and switch the cameras here. We are going to go and be ready for our kickoff to be switched to the Griffith Panthers.
Jankovic also on the kick.
Nice kick, I would have to say, down to what seems the 2-yard line. And is going to be a return. Oh, kicking it to the outside. He's going to get more than 20 yards. He's going to be taken out roughly by the 23, I would have to say. No, 24. And our apologies if you were looking at that down in distance. It is actually for the Panthers 1st and 10 on the 24 of their own side. So, not the best start for the Panthers. You know, we're going to go ahead and see what they can do on their second drive. Hopefully they can mirror what Hobart did.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that fumble will...
Oh, and a big jump off sides for the wide receiver. Maybe just a little bit of miscommunication there. That is going to go ahead and be a 5-yard penalty for the Panthers. That's going to set them at a 1st and 15 on the 19.
Not a great start for Griffith's second drive.
No. Never want to start on a penalty.
So the ball's going to be snapped. It looks like a pass. Oh, and he's going to air it out.
He might.
He has a man, but it is going to be incomplete.
Just a bit too much for that wide receiver.
Julian Ruiz on the coverage. Did a good job kind of staying with that receiver.
And it is going to be 2nd and 15 on the Panthers 19.
Well, like I said before, that fumble really can drain you. But Griffith needs to keep that out of their heads and avoid extra mistakes.
Absolutely. I would have to say, you know, there is that cliche saying, whenever there's a team that turns over, their chances of losing are much more. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty on this play.
I don't think I've ever heard that cliche saying before.
I have not either.
Well, Luke, I'm sorry, but you've never played football.
I have.
Mr. Kevin Ray here thinks otherwise. He said the same thing.
Well,
I'm just having a bit of fun with you.
It is
Nah,
true, though.
it's okay.
It is definitely true.
yes, it is true. It is one of those statistics that nobody likes to hear because it is said so often, but is a major part of football.
It
And
is
just-
pretty hard to score without the ball.
Yeah, you are correct. And it looks like it's going to be a pitch to the outside. And it's going to be running into a wall of bricks, but it was a fumble. Oh, but he was called down. that's a little bit of a downer for the Hobart Brickies.
I wouldn't look at it as a downer. I'd look at it as a positive. You forced the ball out in 2 drives, and they've only had 2 drives to work with.
Forcing turnovers. Big key to this Hobart defense has been a turnover machine in the past 2 seasons.
And it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 20 on the 14-yard line for the Panthers. Not a great start, I would have to say.
Energy on Hobart's side is piling up right now.
And he's going to be rolling out to the right side. He's going to be airing it out.
Has a
to
man
wide
wide
open. And it looks like he's going to be in bounds. Great throw by the Panthers QB. That's going to set them up on the what looks to be 44-yard line.
He was just wide open. He had no one on him.
And it looks like it's going to be a 1st and 10. Wow.
Osika cannot be happy about that lapse in defense. Let the man wide open right behind him.
That's also where you see that speed does indeed kill.
It does. That it does.
Looks like it's going to be a run back down to the left. He's going to cut inside, but the Brickies are going to gobble that up. And it looks like he's going to give him a loss of 1 yard, so it's going to end up being 2nd and 11 on the 43. And it looks like the tackle was made by Bobby Babcock, the Northern Illinois University man. As some like to call him, the Tasmanian Devil.
Really? It's a big school, NIU.
Most definitely. So it looks like he's going to be rolling back out to the right. Oh, a lot of pressure from Jake Simpson. Going to be thrown.
Almost
And
picked
it
off.
looks like it's going to be incomplete.
Throw a little low there.
It's going to be 3rd and 11. That looks to be Dakota Vandenberg on the coverage. Very good coverage by the young man.
This Panthers team, they certainly do like that boot outside to throw to their receivers, getting a clearer vision for their quarterback.
Definitely. If you haven't noticed already, however, on the video, their offensive line is getting pushed back every time. So
I
as
mean,
a QB, what are you going to do?
you got to boot out. That's all you can do. Scramble for your life. So those bricks are coming.
As they like to say, spray and pray. It looks like it's going to be a possible timeout. So it looks like it's going to be a timeout for Griffith. You know, while we're doing this timeout, we're going to go ahead and answer some of your questions in the chat. If you have any, go ahead and send them in. We had seen one question. What did you think about the Michigan City versus Chesterton game this week?
We gave our predictions.
Yes, we had given our predictions. I had said it was going to be a close game with a wacky number of 13-12.
I went with a more traditional number of 24-21 with Michigan City on top.
And
Yes.
I believe I went with 17-3 Chesterton. I
Indeed.
said their defense was going to shut down Michigan City and was going to hold them to only a field goal.
So if you guys are just now joining in, it is the Hobart Brickies 7, the Griffith Panthers 0, with 3:45 left in this first quarter.
Really interested to see what comes out of this timeout here for the Griffith Panthers. Always timeout on a 3rd down, always going to see something unique.
You know, I would have to agree with you there. You always can see some wacky stuff come out. Who knows? This may be one of those times.
Coach had to have thought of something super important considering it's not even out of the first quarter yet.
Indeed.
That is very true.
Can't let that momentum push you too far behind.
That is another reason for a timeout. You can always give a timeout to try and stop that momentum a little bit.
True.
But when you have such a savage, hungry defense like Hobart, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Speaking of savage, hungry, do you think that we get a blitz here from the Brickies?
You know, I would say that is very possible. I know you guys are not seeing it. Oh, there we go. We just switched. We are going to see. Oh, it looks like a flag. Seems to be a false start
Never want that
on
after
Griffith.
a timeout. Never want to be on your toes on a timeout.
That is
And
Griffith's third flag on this drive.
You know, not very good. You're not showing very good discipline for the games that you have further coming in the future.
These mental errors can kill you, and that's something you do not want to build around. Get these habits fixed.
And we're going to see the snap. He's going to drop
Another
back
pass.
down to the left. Big arm. We're going to
Has a
see.
man.
Oh, but there's a lot. Oh, and it's
Incomplete.
in a very hard
humongous hit by number 10, Dakota Vanderberg.
Going to be a very
Clobbering
nice,
him with during the catch.
Oh, yes. Very nice hit. You know, around a bunch of brickies. You know, as you've seen, Riley Johnson a little bit frustrated with that they didn't come up with something. But it looks like it's going to be 4th and 16 for the Panthers. We're going to see if they're going to punt or if, you know, you never know.
Maybe a fake. Ruiz and Vanderberg back to receive. Ball appears to be bouncing down to the 30, to the 25, 24, and downed by the Panthers at
Takes
about
an
the Hobart 24.
Extremely lucky bounce here for the Griffith Panthers.
Yes.
That punt was not looking too good.
Great roll.
And it looks like it's going to be a first down to Hobart. Down right about the 24. And you're going to see this timeout. Our system did not take it earlier on. It is not a timeout. So here we go. We got the Hobart Brickies. Looks to be a pass out to the left side. Gonna be the Vode.
Back to
Oh,
Big Vode.
huge stiff arm.
Quite the strong stiff arm. That's Zach Vode, a force on the field at 6'3", 215. What do you do against a man that size in high school?
You know, you just hope and pray that he doesn't hurt you. That's what I would have to say.
Double, triple man him if you have to.
Exactly.
It's also a huge weapon in the end zone. Just sometimes they just like to throw it up to him.
Oh, yeah, and you're definitely going to see we have 2 wide receivers down on the bottom and 1 up top.
Got Jankovic and Vode to the bottom.
And it looks to be a run up the middle.
Hand off to Enslin.
Very nice run. Going to get them about what seems to be 5 yards.
Yeah, should be about 5 or 4.
It actually looks to be about 4 after the consideration. So it looks going to be 2nd and 6 down on the 42 for the Hobart Brickies.
That rushing attack once again coming into effect, getting the push, hitting the hole. Great play. Just keep that going. And they have a good push for this game.
And it looks to be a
Fake
keeper down
handoff
to the left.
Johnston.
Oh, nice juke.
Nice cut.
And it looks like he's going to be going up the sideline. He's going to be out of bounds at what seems to be
The 38-yard line.
No,
No,
looks to be
33.
33.
My bad.
And that's going to be a Bricky's first down.
Great play call. Go right up the middle on the last play. Bounce it outside on the next.
Hobart's
boot.
looking like they're having fun playing football today.
That's true.
And that's always your goal when you're playing some football out here on Friday nights.
Gotta love the energy tonight.
Almost taken down
Screen
by
to
the
Vode.
Panthers D-line.
Oh, no! Oh, when the ball goes out of bounds.
Got swarmed by Panthers there. Threw the ball out of bounds basically on the fumble, but still Brickies will retain possession.
And that is the most important thing. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 9 on the Panthers 32. Oh, no, sorry. Looks to be the 27. And it would be 2nd and 4, sorry. And looks to be dropping back
Johnston
for a
back
pass.
to pass. Wide open in the flat. Beautiful play by the Brickies.
Change
That'll be a
Wilden-
first down.
And it looks like he's going to be taken down right about the, looks to be 18.
That's a great way to get the defense on their heels, is throw a quick flat out to the fullback, Braden Carlson.
And that's going to be a first down for Hobart in the red zone. So let's go ahead and see what the Hobart Brickies are going to do here.
My thoughts here, I can see a run up the middle from Menslin once again. No, they go to Carlson once again, and he will bring it down all the way to the 11. My bad, the 12.
And it
Solid gain of 6 yards here for the Hobart Brickies.
And it looks like it's going to be 2nd and 4 on the Panthers 12.
Like I said, right up the middle. Standard play, but it'll get the job done. Hand
looks
off
like
to
it's
the
gonna be
Carlson. Oh, this time Enslin. Down to about the 6. And that will be a first down for the Brickies. 1st and goal.
It will be a 1st and goal on the Panthers 6 with time winding down roughly 30 seconds.
In the first quarter. You think the Brickies continue their run right up the middle?
Oh, I almost guarantee it, and that's what we
And that's
see.
what we see.
Oh, and a big push!
And the push. And that looks to be a touchdown for the Brickies.
Looks like it was done from Mark Enslin. That is a Hobart Brickie touchdown.
Getting great push from their offensive line and fullback in the hole there. Just amazing lead blocking. All you need for a touchdown sometimes, and they got it.
2 scores and 3 drives. That's pretty impressive for this Hobart Brickies offense, wouldn't you guys say?
I would agree. Jankovic, low, but it appears to be good.
And
yes,
it is good.
That will make it 14-0 Hobart Brickie lead.
So what do you guys think is going to be the next moves for Griffith?
I don't know exactly what their plan is. They're down pretty big now going into the second quarter. Not a great start for them. A lot of mental errors for their offense. I could only see maybe a little bit more of a conservative drive here, get their yards, and maybe set the Brickies up with less of a good field position.
I would almost have to agree with you there. You know, the Hobart Brickies very, very good synergy right on that goal line, showing to be very prevalent right now. You know, the Griffith Panthers not showing to be the best at the moment. Granted, this is only their first couple of games. You know, actually, it is their first game.
It is.
You know, it's just coming down to practice and how much time they have had to work with each other.
And it is such a hard task to go up against such a skilled and diverse playing team such as the Brickies on your first game, especially fresh off a break due to a pandemic. So, quite the issue for them, but let's see what happens on this drive.
And what were you going to say, Luke?
I was just pretty much about what Kevin was about to say.
So it looks like your Hobart Brickies are going to be coming out right now. Going to be lining up for their kick. And what do you think the chances are here that, you know, a trick play comes out of this kickoff? What do you think the chances are?
Out of the
You know,
kickoff, I don't know,
you know,
like
the
a
Hobart-
pitch, but
You know, the Hobart Brickies did it last week. It's very possible we see it again.
I think it's a slim chance. You're already up 14-0 and the first quarter hasn't even ended yet. I say don't risk it.
Even better option. Go for it now.
Less risk.
And the kick looks to be high and to the right side of the field.
At about the 20.
Look to be dodged, and it looks like he's going to be
Brought down.
marked down right about the 29-yard line.
Brought down by number 10, Dakota Vanderberg.
Looks like he slipped.
Yeah. Well, the finishing blow at least.
Well, there you go. Now, there is 6.6 seconds left, so it's a very high opportunity that just run a play, and we're going to let the clock run out here.
In all likelihood. Seems to be a run formation.
Oh,
Another mistake, and it is recovered by the Brickies.
The Brickies are picking it up, and it looks like they're going to be down. No, they're going to call it. No, it looks like they're going to mark him down. There is a little bit of confusion here in the referee squad. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the field, and it looks to be up here that the ball had come loose.
Before he went down.
Yes, it looked like it was picked up and actually ran in.
Seemed like an error with the handoff. Kind of knocked the ball out.
But it looks like they're going to give it to Hobart. They're going to let them have the ball.
And I'm pretty sure in that pile I saw number 5, Alex Pickett, on the recovery.
Oh, yeah, I seen one of his T-Rex arms. He's one of the short guys like me. I seen one of the T-Rex arms go out for that ball. Just couldn't come up with it.
Really just upsetting for that Griffith offense. Trying to get something going, and then you make a fumble.
Yeah, fumbles are just not a good way to start anything.
Very upsetting indeed.
Fake the vote.
Looks
And
to be
offense
hand up to
has a
Enslin.
lot of
On
space.
the last play of the game. Oh.
Not the last play of the game.
Not the last
play of the
quarter.
You know what I meant.
And it
My
looks
bad.
to be down at about the
They're
1
gonna
yard
mark him
line.
down as the 1. However, they're going to switch it to the second quarter. That is the end of the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and let's just get this configured real quick. It's going to be a Bricky's first and goal
on the
on
one.
the 1.
Could not have ended the quarter better for the Brickies. Not only the fumble recovery, but a big run from Enslin, getting us down to the 1.
I would have to say so myself. We would like to take this time during this timeout to thank our sponsors, Aloso Construction. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Fuller Commercial Photography. They have helped us greatly with our camera equipment. And thank you, of course, to the school city of Hobart. Now, if any of you are looking to become some of those sponsors, it would be very grateful for you to do so. Please become in contact with us. Thank you.
Those of you in the comment section, what are your guys' thoughts on the first quarter?
Bricky's dominated first quarter at that. Many, many mistakes from the Panthers. What do you think they can do to clean it up in the second quarter?
Hold on to the ball, really.
Yeah.
They've had 3 drives. There have been 2 fumbles, almost a third one, but they marked them down before they could pick it back up.
Yeah, it's these fumbles, the penalties, these small, maybe to you, mistakes, but they can be killing for any game.
I would have to agree with you on that one. So with our viewers, go ahead and type in the chat. We had discussed it last week who we thought was the best football team ever. This week we're going to go ahead and talk about what the best franchise is. Go ahead and type in the comments what you think. Luke, who do you think the best franchise is in the NFL?
I'm going to say all time.
All time.
You know what? That's a tough question. I might need to think on that. If you could start off with you first.
I can go first,
All right.
actually. My only issue is I think I'm going to... Oh, hey!
Oh, hey.
Touchdown, Hobart, by the way.
Forgot the quarter started.
Yes, our camera crew did not end up switching over. That will be a touchdown. via Bobby Babcock. Very strong run up the middle. One of those power ones that you just wanted to just rip right into the end zone. Very strong play.
Great play.
And we are now going to go ahead and look at the PAT.
Once again kicked by Jankovic. PT is up, and it is good.
And it looks to be good, yes.
Much better than the last one.
Yes.
Cleaned it up.
So like we were saying, best franchise to exist. Kevin, what were you saying?
I'm going to probably get a lot of hate because not many people like this franchise, but I have to go with the Patriots with their 6 rings.
Geez.
It's not, ever since the 2000s have begun, they have been the most dominant team in all of football. It is not a competition in my opinion.
Oh, here we go.
But anything before then, I would have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. That, you know what, that is at least something we can agree on. Pittsburgh Steelers in the 70s, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Still and currently, they're going to, I feel like they're going to be coming on a comeback here very shortly.
Yes,
But who knows?
Very strong defense.
Yes. But in the 70s, very strong with that Terry Bradshaw. You know,
Steel
very-
curtain.
Oh, yeah, very, very strong. And back to you, Luke. Who do you think has the best franchise in the NFL?
Well, Kevin kind of took the words straight out of my mouth. If we're talking about current, I would have to say the New England Patriots. But if we're talking of all time, I would have to say the 1970s Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, at least all three of us are together in our decision, unlike last week with that best all-time team ever. Go ahead and type in the comments what you think the best franchise in the NFL to ever play is.
Just going to give a quick shout out to Rick Mudry from the class of 88. All right, we got a question here. Any news on scores around the region the NWI Prep site isn't posting? Have you guys gotten anything?
We're going to go ahead and look into that for you. We will keep you posted.
While you look that up, can you try and see the Michigan City Chesterton game so we can see what the update on that is?
Definitely.
Meanwhile, the kickoff is being set up.
We are working on those scores for you shortly. We are here at the Brickyard on this beautiful Friday night playing some football with the Brickies. 21-0 against the Griffith Panthers. Very strong turnaround from last week. Very nice kick. It's going to be taken from about the 5. And he's going to be stopped right about the 20. Very, very strong stop from the Brickies.
Great group tackle.
The comments are saying Twitter has some stuff. NWI Prep's Twitter.
That is a very great suggestion. Thank you to the viewers out there. Go ahead and check Twitter. Twitter is a very good source. We are also a very good source, I would like to say. We will have you with those scores here very soon.
We got a comment here for the best franchise. Kyle Madden says that the Packers are the most distinguished franchise in the series.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
They-
it looks to be a run, but that is stopped shortly. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You're all right.
Looks to be a group tackle between Bobby Babcock and Jake Simpson.
And an update on that Chesterton versus Michigan City game. Michigan City currently trailing Chesterton 7-14, with Luke's prediction looking pretty good right now, but not perfect, given that the Michigan City has scored a touchdown. Second down for the Panthers.
It looks to be some flags out on the play.
Another false start. That is demoralizing to these Panthers. Flag after flag for false starts. It is not looking good for their offense, and that coach has to be livid.
And it looks to be 2nd and 20.
Another outside run,
and
but
this,
will be stopped short at about the 9-yard line. Another loss of 1.
this Bricky defense, very relentless in what they do.
They swarm to that ball very quickly.
Third and 21 for these Griffith Panthers.
In a current update on the Andrean game versus New Prairie High School. Currently 0-0 while in progress, though.
Oh, botch play. Oh, and it's going to be
Another
dropped to the
fumble.
Brickies.
Fumble.
The Brickies are going to be taking that
Oh,
ball
my
and going to be
goodness.
taking possession of it.
Recovered by the Brickies once again.
It is going to be first and goal on the 9. Oh, excuse me. It looks to be first and goal on the 10.
This Hobart defense is just spoon-feeding the Hobart offense right now. They are giving them all these golden opportunities to just punch it in.
Perfect field position.
Very true.
Very often.
If you guys would like to know any other scores around the region, go ahead and type it in the chat. We will find those for you. We are your resource. Looks like we got some whistles out here. And it's going to be a timeout to the Panthers. This is
Definitely
going to be
need
their
some time to talk.
This is going to be their second timeout. They're only going to have one for the remaining 10 minutes of this half.
Definitely probably wanting to talk to them about these mistakes. It is eating at their offense, not being able to be on the field. Their defense is probably getting tired. It is not looking good for these Panthers with this turnover issue.
So, gonna take a quick little rewind. Like I was saying, Kyle Madden says that Packers are the most distinguished franchise in NFL history. They say they have the most championship wins in the NFL, and it's not even close.
He is correct on that. Pre-Super Bowl era, the Packers did dominate very much so.
Very true with that comment, sir. However, I would have to say, me personally, I am not a Packer fan. However, you do lead a very good point. So it looks like the Brickies are going to be lining back up on the 10-yard line, first and goal. Let's see what the Brickies can do here. Are you going to be running it up the middle like you have for the past 2?
I take the
past
dominant
3.
idea. Keep it going
Keep it going.
until it stops working. There's no reason to stop doing it. It's the
And-
easiest play.
Enslin's on fire right now. I say you keep feeding it to him.
Carlson also with amazing lead blocking. Just keep it behind him.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be run by Enslin, but it's going to be swarmed up. Griffith Panthers, you can see, just trying to get at that ball, not wanting to let go.
Trying to get that ball back after the turnover.
Oh, yeah, you know, there should be some saltiness out there. You gave up the ball a couple times, eh?
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be actually second and goal now from the 11.
Love to see the alumni in chat talking about their Bricky pride.
Gotta love it. Bricky pride, everybody.
Vote in motion,
Looks
but
like
it's
it's
a
gonna
quarterback keeper.
Oh, but
And
there's
it's blown
whistles,
dead.
whistles. Oh, it is going to be a false start against the Brickies. It is going to be a 5-yard penalty. They are going to be second and goal on the 16 instead of the 11.
This could be a cause for issue for the Brickies. Never wants anything in goal when you're going more than 10 yards. That's not what you want.
Now let's see what these Panthers can do here. Past couple drives. Oh, I should say, past drive or so. You know, the defense has actually woken up a little bit, I'd have to say. And it looks like it's going to be a boot out to the right.
Wide
Have
open
some
is
people,
83 Vote, and
Vote
he
is
will
going to
get
be
down.
Vote will be out of bounds right about the 4-yard line.
Great quick outside pass on the boot leg from Johnston. just like I said, it's so hard to guard someone so athletic and so big as Vode. He's just a freak of nature athlete. Committed to, I believe, Western Michigan.
That is correct. He's committed for his defensive instead of the offensive.
Really?
Is that right?
Yes.
He is
Very
listed
interesting.
as an athlete on 24/7.
It looks like he's going to be run up the middle by
Good off
Enslin.
Enslin.
Still rushing off tacklers. It looks like he's going to be brought down right about the 2-yard line. And it looks like it's going to be 4th and goal on the 2. What do you do here as the Brickies? Are you going to go ahead and kick it? Or are you going to try again and try to punch it right through the middle?
Right here, I feel no need to just take my points. I'm up comfortably. I'm trying to build that lead higher up. I'm going for 2. Getting 2 yards has been easy for the Brickies, and I think they get it done here.
What are you thinking, Luke?
I couldn't agree more. I say you just go for it, try and get some more points in, try and end this game as soon as possible.
It looks like it's going to be a boot
Another
to the
boot.
left. But the
Johnston with the legs,
Panthers
the
has-
speed.
Oh, but he's going to be
Is hit
knocked out of
hard.
bounds right at the 1. That is going to be a turn of downs.
A great hit by number 8, it appears, on that play. Just rocked him and pushed him out of bounds at the perfect time to save the drive and keep Hobart out of the end zone.
Now, nice play, number 8, but what are you going to do now on an offense? You fumbled the past 3 out of the 4
Exactly.
possessions, and you're on the 1-yard line.
Give
How do
all
you-
the defense the credit it deserves, but this offense has been struggling to hold on to the ball, and in that 1-yard line position, that can mean points for the opposite team.
You know, hopefully you went to your sideline and you made some of those adjustments. Let's see if you can put those into play.
The Panther defense is Griffith's only form of life support right now. The offense is doing nothing to complement the defense, whereas the defense has just put the rest of the team on their backs.
And it looks like we may have an injury timeout. I didn't really get a good look.
Perhaps just a ref timeout.
Either way, we're going to be seeing these two teams coming back to the line of scrimmage. Hopefully, this Griffith Panther team can make something out of this drive. And it looks like it's going to be a very discombobulated run, possibly a safety.
No signal about safety for the refs. Seems it will be 2nd down and 10 once again from the 1.
You know, he just ran into a wall of bricks, I would have to say. Not
Indeed.
really one specific bricky, just a massive group of them on a group tackle.
Just a big, steepened mess of yellow.
I would have to say. You're right. One might say that he ran into a yellow brick wall. Oh, but
And
there
looks
looks
like
to be some
another
flags.
false start, perhaps, on the Panthers.
It is a false start on the Panthers.
Will not affect them very much, though, given that they are already on their own 1.
It will put them on the half-yard line.
Maybe even an inch. These mistakes, they can throw your whole rhythm off. And not that they had much rhythm going for them on offense, but it can make it much worse when you're making these small mistakes.
And you are seeing that correctly on the channel. It is 2nd and 11 from the 0, and another false start, it looks like, from the Panthers and possibly the Brickies. What are we going to see here? From the Panthers,
This is beginning to get really, really debilitating for these Panthers. And that is twice on 1 down now.
and it looks like it's going to be the Panthers' final timeout.
They need to talk this through. Too many mistakes. That coach is definitely going to give them a firm talking to.
I would have to agree to you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chat. Is there any questions that you guys have left? We're taking a look now.
not any questions, but we did get a comment. So not this just flag, but the one before it. Kyle Madden says that it wasn't a false start, but an illegal substitution. There was 12 men in the huddle, and the sub must leave within 3 seconds.
See, this is why we have you guys as well. We can't see everything. Thank you to the commenters. Thank you to the viewers.
Much appreciated.
All 200 of you now.
Jeez.
Man.
Hey, it seems like we're pretty popular now. Hey. Hey, thank you guys once again. Keep on commenting about what you think your favorite franchise is. If you give a good enough, evaluation or argument, it'll probably be considered, and we'll probably just take your word over it. But, hey, thank you enough for commenting. Thank you guys for viewing for the second week in a row. Thank you so much.
So when that question was brought into consideration, I only considered the Super Bowl era, but those 50s Bears, not in the Super Bowl era, many championships, or the 50s Browns.
Thank
with
you.
Jim Brown.
I was about to say, sir, thank you.
Quite the force to be reckoned with.
So it looks like we're back at the line of scrimmage. We're going to see what the Griffith Panthers are going to do.
Needing desperately to get out of this spot. This is danger zone.
So obviously
If
going to
I've
be a
ever
pass.
seen one,
It
and
looks
a
like it's
beautiful
gonna
pass.
And he's going
Tripped
to
up.
connect. He's going to be brought down roughly the 23-yard line is what they're going to call it.
Great slant pattern right there. Cut right in between the safety and the linebacker, wide open.
And they are finally out of that danger zone.
Yeah,
Finally you got some breathing room around your neck, I would have to say.
indeed.
That is definitely a play that you needed.
Definitely a loss for that Hobart defense. They had him right where they wanted him, and they just couldn't hold him there.
But again, they keep making mistakes, so not out of the doghouse yet.
So let's go ahead and see what the Griffith Panthers are going to be doing here. With this first down, looks like they're going to be dropping back
Drop
to pass.
back.
Oh, and a
Hit on the throw.
He's hit on
It
the
is
throw, and
it is
intercepted.
And that looks like
he has
he could
blockers,
go.
but there is a
Flags on the
flag
play.
on the play. There are flags on the play. He is in the end zone. We are going to go ahead and see.
As it stands now, it is a Brickies touchdown without the flag. Flag pending.
We're going to go ahead and see what the flag is on.
That is a pick and return by Cameron Smith. Senior linebacker number 59.
Still waiting on the confirmation from the officials. We will see if this is an actual push in the back by the Brickies.
Still, the pick will stay, but can't make that mistake. Block in the back takes away the touchdown.
Let's see what they're going to go ahead and mark them.
But like I said, the mistakes, you're not out of the doghouse yet. Not great for Panthers. This just really disappointing.
Let's go ahead and see where they're going to mark this ball. And it looks to be marked right at the 26. Oh, 25, I'm sorry, excuse me. But it will indeed be a 1st and 10 for the Brickies off of that interception from Bobby Babcock, giving pressure to that quarterback and hitting his arm as he was throwing.
Gotcha. I was about to say, I believe the pick was Smith, but you are correct. Great pressure by Babcock.
Dropping back, a big pass, but there is room.
Threw it
And
a
it
little
will-
far right there.
And it will be incomplete, as you've seen. It will be 2nd and 10.
Pass intended for Jankovic, also the kicker of the team. Quite the diverse player. Hobart loves those multi-tool players who play every position that they can.
Hobart likes to have just assortment of Swiss Army knives, as I would like to say.
Indeed.
I like the analogy.
Hey, came up with it.
Nice.
All right, we're going to go ahead and see what the Brickies are going to do here
2nd and
as
10.
they come up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like
Looks
it's going
like
to
a
be run
handoff
up
to
the
Enslin.
handoff right up to the middle. Looks like they're going to get,
Gain of 1 or so
yes, what seems to be 1 yard. So that will bring them to 3rd and 9.
at the 24.
Riley Johnson was just seen helping up Connor Bach after he was slow to get up.
That is a great thing that you want to have with your quarterback and lineman. Not only can the lineman pick you up, but your quarterback can pick you up as well.
It's a strong quarterback.
I would have to say to pick up some of them big boys.
Yep. Jankovic back on the field.
And here we go. They only have 8 seconds to snap the ball. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Got to get this off
2,
quick, and
1,
that
and it
looks
looks
like
like
it will be a timeout by the Brickies.
All right, during this timeout, we just have a few questions. First question is from Bobby Goodpaster. He asked, are the replays working this game?
The replays are indeed working, Bobby. Thank you for asking. We have resolved that problem. There have been many replays. If you have watched a little bit earlier, thank you for viewing.
And then our second question is from Dawn Mudry. She is a bit being more personal. She is asking us to tell us about ourselves.
Well,
Will, would you like to start?
You know what? I will go ahead and start. Hello, your name was Dawn, right?
Correct.
Hi, Dawn. My name is William Hall. I am a freshman at Michigan State University, currently taking classes at home, but I am going to be studying mechanical engineering and a possible dual major in nuclear physics.
Wow, that's quite impressive. I'm Kevin Ray. I am a senior at Hobart High School, intending to go to either Ball State or Purdue, staying in state and looking to pursue a degree in history.
And I'm Luke Wyman. I'm just a freshman at Hobart High School, so I still have a lot of time to think about what I want to do when I get older.
Indeed. Great opportunities here, too. Plenty of college credit courses.
I'm taking 2 college credit courses right now, actually.
Beautiful. I'm taking 6.
Not trying to flex on you guys, but I took a total of 10.
Really?
You're in college.
No, last year.
Oh.
Took summer school and some of
Imagine
the
if that's how it
in-school.
worked.
Oh, that would be crazy. Here we
Nice.
go. Line of scrimmage. Going to be the ball snapped. Oh, but he's going to boot
Boot
out to the
PA.
left, and it looks like it's going to be a little dump pass to the fullback.
Carlson,
Nice little
Slips,
gain.
but still gets the tackle.
first down. What appears to be inside the 10. It will be another first and goal for Hobart.
It looks to be a first and goal, what seems to be on the 9-yard line.
Looking to make a little bit more out of this attempt than the last one, but still overall has been a successful game for the Bricks. Maybe look for another little more success on the ground than the last drive.
Don Mudry says, go
Quite
Ball
possible.
State.
Hey, go
There
Ball
you go.
State. Looks like it's going to be a
Handoff,
handoff up
Enslin.
the middle to Enslin once again.
Gets it down to about the 3. And like I said, they're going to try to just grind this Panthers defense down and just make them get tired and slow her down. And that's when the Hobart offense can really explode, and is in the second half after winding them down very slowly.
You know, that is one of the reasons why you do pick the ground and pound game. One, to tire out your opponents and drain some of that time off that clock.
Indeed. Get your defense some rest. And that will be another touchdown for the Brickies. Another plunge right up the middle by Enslin.
Very nicely done to you, Hobart Brickies. And as you can see, some of the other viewers are typing in questions. Go ahead and type in some of your own. Whether it is a question about, you know, some of the games around here, or a question about us like Dawn had asked. Go ahead and type it in chat.
Jankovic once again to kick. He's been perfect throughout the game, and I believe throughout the season.
So far, yes, he has not missed one.
And that will not start today, as the extra point is good.
And we're going to go ahead and go to Luke. He has an announcement he would like to make.
So, just to let you all listening at home know, the Hobart Brickies high school soccer team will be hosting a suicide awareness game on Wednesday, September 9th at 7 p.m. at home versus Kankakee Valley. There, we will be remembering a former member of our team that took his life late last year. It would be very appreciated that as many people show up as possible. Thank you.
Great cause.
So what are you guys thinking the Griffith Panthers are going to have to do if they want to stay in this game and not make it like 50-0 like last year?
I would have to say develop the passing game. They've had much more success in the passing game than they have on the ground. And not that to say go purely passing, but definitely develop it more and see if you can get more success through the air.
I just gotta say, stop turning over the ball.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much
a pretty
all-
simple solution.
All of their drives, except for 2, have resulted in fumbles. One of them was a fumble that they ruled him down, and the other one was an interception.
Another
They need to
big
stop
key.
turning over that ball.
Another big key is that offensive line has been struggling to protect their quarterback and running backs, which has been the root of most of those fumbles and even the interception where the quarterback was hit and his arm basically let go of the ball too early. Big issues on that offensive line.
They don't have many players on the Griffith side. I don't know if you've ever been able to see it while watching the stream, but there is not many players on that Griffith roster.
No, it's a very thin roster.
And sadly, most of that is due to the pandemic right now. A lot of the Griffith team had tested positive for it, which is why this is, 1, their first game, and 2, their roster is so small, and you see a lot of people going 2 ways right now.
It's truly a sad situation that this could happen to even such small little cities, and these people are having to cancel their things that they love. It's really a sad situation.
And here we go, very nice kick, very long drive down to the 2.
And he is getting swarmed and brought down at about the 21-yard line by the Brickies. What appears to be number 6, Harley Potter, on the tackle.
And that is confirmed. It will be a first down on the 21 for the Griffith Panthers.
So this completely crossed my mind, but I think it deserves some recognition. A little bit ago, so a bit earlier in the week, legendary coach / teacher and Riley Johnson's grandparent, Jim Johnson, passed away.
Very true, very true, very
He-
sad.
He had a huge impact on so many students and so many athletes at Hobart as a coach and as a health teacher.
So we would like to keep him in our thoughts and minds. And currently a big, deep pass.
And hasn't been caught. Oh, it's a tussle. And it looks like they're going to mark it a catch down all the way
At
to
the Brickies 45.
That will be a first down for the Griffith Panthers, if you cannot tell from that deep bomb. And going back to that very, very sad and tragic news from the Johnson family, we just want to send out our condolences, and please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this hard time.
Like I said about this offense, they needed a little bit more of those big plays, develop the game in the air, and fix that offensive line struggle. And on that play, they did exactly that.
So we're going to see him drop back, go back to the pass.
Similar play.
There's a little bit of room. He
Ruiz
stops
burned.
and go
He
ahead
falls
and
down.
catch it.
Incomplete. Or I am so sorry. I meant complete.
You know what? We knew what you meant, buddy. It looks like they are going to be placed right at the 12-yard line. It looks like the Griffith Panthers are having a little bit of success right now. Let's see if this Hobart defense can actually keep them afloat.
Hobart seems to not be expecting back-to-back deep passes and are getting burned on the sideline, leaving the wide receivers wide open for deep, deep passes. And now we've got Griffith in scoring position.
Very much so. You may not see a 50-0 game. You may see a 50-7 game, possibly. We will see. Oh, and it looks like a false start from the wide receiver on the right side.
And just like that, the
seemed to see
mental issues continue for the Panthers. It is just really tearing them apart. And I don't know how much effect that will have on their momentum, but that slowing down of their offense that had been running at a bit of a tempo, that can slow you down, that can hurt you. Giving Brickies the time to think.
Just going back to the number of that player, that was number 23. So it looks like he's in shotgun again, going back for a pass. Quick pass.
Ooh.
Oh, but incomplete. Wide receiver cannot get a good grip on that ball.
Had a great break on that ball from Julian Ruiz, number 23. If that was thrown a little bit later and Ruiz broke a little earlier, that was going the other way. Great defensive play.
It almost did go the other way. I'm not sure who it was, but it was going right to his hands. The wide
Yep.
receiver just happened to smack his hand.
23. That's Ruiz. Wide receiver number 5 knocked it down. And apologies for not knowing the names of. We had a incorrect roster.
So it looks like another run by the Cuban. Oh, but he's getting loose. Got out of the grip of what seems to be
Stays on his feet and is taken down by the pylon.
what seems to be number 52, Hayden McLam. But yes, that is true. We did get an inaccurate roster for the Griffith Panthers. So our apologies to you Panther fans watching.
Hey, boys, if you can believe it, we have 2 people watching this stream that are from the class of 1977 and 1978.
Great to
Wow.
see it.
Great to see you guys. Thank you for watching the live stream. Please give us your thoughts on how you think this Hobart and Griffith team is doing. Looks to be a QB sneak. They may have gotten the amount that they needed. They needed 3 yards. Let's see if they got it.
Waiting for the call.
It seems like they may be 1 yard short. So it will be 4th and 1 on what is the 3 yard line.
Definitely can see Griffith going for it here. I don't have a doubt in my mind that they won't. I mean that they will. Need the momentum, need the touchdown. Down big going into halftime, need a score here.
It actually seems that they're going to be bringing out the chains. We will see what the measurement is. Oh, yes, and it looks like they will be short about a yard.
Once again, loving the Bricky pride in the chat right now from all the previous alumni, from even around the country, some from California and some from Texas. Loving to see this in the chat. Glad to have you guys here.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating in the live stream. Please go ahead and make sure you comment what your favorite, or I'm sorry, correction, what you think the franchise that has been the most successful is.
In NFL history.
Go ahead and type that in the chat. Thank you guys for watching. It looks like the Griffith Panthers will be on 4th and inches because I do not have a foot measurement.
And
but
a big play here could be the maybe even the decider of the game. Could knock them out of the game if Panthers do not convert.
Let's see what this is. Oh, but he had
Another
no!
false start. And just like that, like I said, the mental errors have just destroyed this Panthers team so far this game. And just like that, another false start will move them back to a much less manageable 4th and 6.
So now I do have this marker. It is going to be 4th and 5 on the 8 yard line. Such a sad sight to see for the first game of your season. So many mental mistakes. You know, let's just see.
Boot
And it looks
from
like
the quarterback.
a boot. And he's
Another
gonna be,
pass.
Oh, but it looks like
It
they're
is-
going to mark it incomplete. That will be a turn of possession for the Hobart Brickies. They are going to be starting on the 8 yard line. Let's see if this offense can drive it all the way 92 yards into the end zone.
Hobart, from what I've seen, Hobart has had some issues getting it out of their own end zone this season, especially with the rushing attack being somewhat restricted in this smaller area. And it's just, with a safety in the last game, I'm a little nervous for these Brickies here.
That really is just unfortunate for the Griffith Panthers offense.
Yeah.
They had 2 great passes, and
Great
it all
plays.
just led to something that I don't think they were looking for.
That mental error, they could have easily probably gotten that 1 inch, but that 6 yards is a big difference.
So it looks like it's going to be a
Handoff
run
up
to the
the middle.
right side.
Looks like Enslin once again gain of about 5 yards.
It
Indeed.
looks to be a little bit more than that. It looks to be about 2nd and 3
Wow.
from what looks to be the 16, and they're going to be
Johnston
running
on a
another
bootleg.
play.
Jankovic on the
And
catch.
nice pass.
Knee down on the catch. But will be a first down for the Brickies.
And it looks to be a first down right on the 22-yard line for the Brickies.
Good play, but got his knee down on the way down to catch the ball. Johnston looking to throw. Throws wide open.
He's wide open.
Number 18, Ryan Ellis, wide open on the run. What a play. Great play by Ellis right there. Cut wide open in the middle of the field. Another pass, this time once against Jankovic. Will be down at the 41, but flags on the play.
Looks to be down at the 40.
Perhaps some form of illegal hit.
So remember when you said you wanted it to be worldwide, our streams?
Yes, sir.
We actually have somebody from the class of 2019 tuning in from Syria.
Oh.
Nice.
And who may that be from the class of 2019?
It is not an actual name. It is just a username, but
if you are from that class of 2019 and you are tuning in from Syria, please go ahead and comment what your name is. Let's see if we know who you are.
We'd love to shout you out.
Yes, we would absolutely love to shout you out. Thank you for tuning in to the Hobart Brickies versus the Griffith Panthers. What's going on? All right, sorry for that little bit of a break. Here we go, Hobart Brickies on the 40-yard line. Go ahead and be dropping back.
Actually,
nice pass. Oh, and it looks to be intercepted by the Griffith Panthers. Let's see if they can bring it back. And it looks to be stopped right about
the 35, what'd you say? 36? No, 37 according to the referee. Once again, the Panthers looking to get a little bit of momentum here. Bad error by Johnston, threw it into coverage. Has been a bit of an issue for Johnston on his passes, a little bit reckless with his throwings at times. Overall, still good.
So let's see what these Griffith Panthers can do with 30 seconds left on the clock until halftime. And it looks to be a pass to the right side. He's going to be cutting it. Oh, and it looks like he's going to be running in to a lot of bricks.
That can't be fun to run into.
No, that has to be very painful. It looks like he's going to be brought down right about the 43.
Griffith has no timeout, so they have to do a hurry up here.
Second and 4.
Running out of time. Likely going to take a shot here.
And the clock is winding down, telling his wide receiver to go farther and throwing a very reckless pass.
Incomplete, broken up by the Brickies. Appeared to be Ruiz, Ellis, and Smith on the coverage. Threw it into a humongous group of Brickies. Kind of just needed to throw it, though, to get the ball out in time to stop the clock.
And it looks like they're going to be going into a prevent formation in the back, bringing in an extra DB and taking out one of the four down linemen and changing it to a 3. Bringing back 5 people. So we're going to go ahead and see what these Griffith Panthers can do with 2.2 seconds left in this half. He's dropping back to pass, throwing it a little bit short. Let's see what he can do. Oh, and a hard hit by Cam Smith. That dream is going to be dead. We're going to be going to halftime.
You do not want to be hit by Cam Smith. As someone who has been hit by Cam Smith, that man hits hard.
Your score at halftime is Hobart Brickies 28, Griffith Panthers still 0.
Real quick before we go, the man who's tuning in from Syria, his name is Jacob White.
Glad to see you.
Glad to see you, Jacob White. I know you were at boot camp, so I'm not too positive you should be on your cellular device, but thank you for watching nonetheless. Please be safe. We're going to go ahead and take our halftime break. And we are back. We are going to go ahead and take this time to thank some of our sponsors once again. Thank you to Iloso Construction for everything that you have done for the Hobart football program. The Fuller Commercial Photography and the School City of Hobart. I do not know why the sponsors are not showing up on the screen right now. That will be taken care of here shortly. We're just going to go ahead and throw up that graphic one more time. There we go. Thank you to Iloso Construction. Thank you to the Fuller Commercial Photography. And thank you once again to the School City of Hobart. If you guys would like to join this sponsorship, please send us some monies. I'm just playing. You do not have to. If you would like to get involved somehow, please go ahead and message us.
We got 10 seconds until the half is over.
And if I remember correctly, it's going to be the Griffith Panthers receiving right off of this halftime break.
You would
Indeed,
be
it will
correct.
be.
Luke, did we get any questions in the chat? Anybody wondering what is going on?
Not recently.
We did not. Our last comment was from Jacob White, the man who's in Syria right now.
Thank you for your service once again. Let's go ahead and think of another question. We already did what you or who you think has the greatest franchise in the NFL right now. Let's go ahead and think.
I got another one.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's go with greatest college football franchise of all time. And let's exclude Alabama because I feel like that would be said too often.
That would be said too often. I do not enjoy the Roll Tide, however. Let's go ahead and see who you guys think has the greatest college football franchise to be lived, excluding Alabama. That would be too obvious.
And I think we should also give our own opinions, starting with Will.
You know, I am partial. I am going to Michigan State University. However, I will be going against the grain. I do believe the greatest football program, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, the Notre Dame Irish, the Fighting Irish, I do believe had the greatest franchise. You cannot deny the amount of football legends that have come from that school.
They're like the very origins of football. I will give you that. They are very early on innovators, big on the early days, such as like the 20s and such. But I would argue in the modern era, it's between two teams, other than Alabama, of course.
Okay.
The Oklahoma Sooners and Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, here we go.
With Oklahoma starting off the 50s with at one point, 47-game win streak.
A very good
For
point.
4 straight years. And, of course, the Buckeyes being one of the most successful and winningest teams in that decade. I don't know the amount of championships, but I can confirm Oklahoma has 7 in the time.
Very good point. Let's go ahead and hear from Luke.
I despise them. I really don't like them, but I'm going to have to say Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State's ever really had a bad season. They're always a pretty solid team. Whereas, say, Clemson has ups and downs. Recently, they've been doing pretty good. Same with Alabama, but Ohio State, always in that top 5 in the nation.
I would also have to say the same thing
Very good points.
with Oklahoma. They've always been a top 25, if not top 10 team at one point.
Indeed. Very good points once again. Let's go ahead and hear from you guys in the chat. Who do you think in the college football has the best franchise?
Excluding the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Most definitely exclude the Alabama Crimson Tide.
So real quick, for you gentlemen, what were you guys' thoughts on the first half?
What can I really say? It's all been Hobart, you know.
It's been nothing but Brickies. The Panthers have done nothing but turn the ball over and over again. They have had two drives that did not result in turnover, and one was a turnover on downs. So they have had very little success on offense, and their lack of protection on the offensive line tells the whole story.
You know, I got 2 words to describe it. Brick wall.
True.
Luke, what are your thoughts?
I think when Griffith takes that bus home tomorrow and next time they practice, I think they need to go back to the basics and learn how to run with the football. Pretty much every drive has resulted in a fumble except for one that was picked off.
Indeed. Also, maybe work on the timing of the snap because their false starts problems have cost them so many drives, including that one drive where they were down in the goal line area with a 4th and 1 but jumped false start, and just like that, they were down to 4th and 6. Did not convert, and a turnover to Downs. Jankovic on the kick. Good kick down to about the 10. Will be returned by 23. About to the 20 until he is swallowed by a group of Brickies.
And the second half has officially begun.
Looks like he will be brought down on the 22. Going to go ahead and be a 1st and 10 on the Panthers 22.
I won't lie, I'm a little bit questioning on the positioning of the ball, but it is what it is.
Oh, 21, I'm sorry. Correction, but yes, I would have to agree with you. Positioning is a little sketch on that one, but 21 it is.
Not a big issue.
So let's go ahead and see what these Griffith Panthers are going to do here.
Looks like they're returning right back to the pass, and they have a man wide open.
And he
is
takes
brought
it,
down.
brings it down. He will be marked down what seems to be
The 45-yard line. What a pass. And Griffith going right back to the only thing that has brought them success so far, and that is through the air.
It looks like officially he will be marked on the 46. Once again, the placement of that ball a little questionable, but as we can say, folks, here it's a little different from on the screen. Here it did look like he slid a good amount, I would have to say.
From what I saw, though, with his knee down on the replay, it did seem about the 46. He would hit his knee.
So let's go ahead and see what the Griffith Panthers are going to be doing here. Looks like he's going to drop back to pass again. Big ball.
Similar play.
Looks like he's in double coverage.
Ooh, flags are on the play.
Flag. There is a flag. As you can hear, there is some yelling. Let's go ahead and see what this flag is.
That's pass interference. It's really questionable with the arms raised in the air of the Hobart defensive back. And it will be pass interference on the Brickies. It'll be an automatic 1st down for the Panthers.
Wow.
Interesting penalty right there. What are your thoughts, William?
You know, especially since it just brought them down to the 31. You know, you just have to wonder what they've seen. Personally, I did not see anything here. However, you just have to wonder what they had seen. You know, his hands were up. I did not see any,
Pushing, no shoving.
No, it might just be one of those things where
And
too much contact.
though I would even argue it was not a
Oh,
catch.
looks like the ball is free,
and
and it looks
just
like a scoop.
that,
It will be a scoop for the Brickies.
the ball carrying issues continue for the Panthers. They just cannot hold on to this football.
Hayden-
It is ridiculous.
Hayden McLaren on that strip and what looks to be Jacob Simpson on the recovery. That will put them right on the 38.
That would be correct. And just like that, just again, when it looked like the Panthers had something going, they turned the ball over.
It looks like he's going to be dropping back to pass.
Fake screen.
Fake the screen.
Deep ball
Wide
wide open.
open.
And
But there
Flag
will
on
be
the
a
play.
flag.
that was a pretty blatant pass interference. Ran right into the receiver before the ball got there.
We will see what the final ruling will be. So that will be a 15-yard penalty. Well, looks to be, it'll bring them down to 1st and 10 on the Panthers' own 47-yard line. So
Ball
look-
there a little short on that pass. Had Jankovic have to come back to try to catch it. But either way, First down, Hobart once again. Another
So it looks-
quarterback designed run,
And it looks
and
like
will
he
get
be,
about 9 yards.
Yes, it looks to be about 9 yards. He will be pushed out of bounds.
That dual threat quarterback, as we talked about before this game, Riley Johnston is a threat both through the air and on his legs and has been a force to be reckoned with in this Hobart offense.
And it looks like they will actually be placing him right on the 40-yard line, about 3 yards short of the first down.
Back to the greatest franchise of all time. Donna Seeley says the San Francisco 49ers.
Very compelling, very compelling.
Definitely in the 80s, those Niners were very tough to beat.
Nice pass.
That's
out
Wide
to the
open
to
outside.
Zach Vode.
And it looks like he will be pushed out of bounds once again. They will mark him what
At
seems
about
to
the
be
27.
Yes, what seems to be the 27.
Nope, my bad. Appears 28. And Zach Vode, like we said, very physical, getting a little handsy in the sideline right there. But hey, that's football.
That is indeed true. I do not think we are playing soccer right now. I do see some football. Looks to be a little bit of frustration.
From the coach's box next door,
You know,
another flag.
we do not condone any language that you do here. And it looks like a block in the back will be put onto the Brickies. I believe this sets them back 5 yards, right?
I believe 10 from the spot. I'm not sure, though.
Oh, no, it is 10. I'm sorry, incorrect.
So, Will, you're an alumni, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you happen to know if they still have the Jim Johnson invite in track?
Oh, that is a very good question. You know, I am not positive, but I do believe they have that.
And Slindon with Johnston in the backfield. Vote in motion. They fake it to him, and Johnston boots
Johnson
out
rolling
once
away.
again. A throw to
Is complete.
Ellis
It looks like it will be a
for
throw.
a first down. It is complete to about the 16. Great design play there. Great bootleg. Got the defender who was trailing Johnston to have to redirect his motion. Great play.
Now, if you did not hear that, it will be a 1st and 10 on the Panther 17. They are in the red zone. And you just wonder, will the Brickies be stopped? You just have to wonder.
They've had some issues somewhat in the red zone this year and in this game. So you never know. But as this rushing attack is getting stronger, as the defense tires because of their inability to get off the field with the offense, I don't know how much longer they can hold the Brickies at all.
And it looks to be a 2nd and 4.
Number 81,
What seems
Anthony
to
Williams
be-
checking into the game.
What seems to be on the 11-yard line.
One of those, I believe, juniors on the team.
Yes, he is indeed a junior.
Yeah.
And it looks like it will be a keeper to the outside. Not going to get much yardage on this one. But it looks like he will actually be brought back 1 yard. So it seems to be 3rd and 5. What on the Panthers 12. You know, you are indeed in the red zone. What do you do here? Are you going to just keep running it? Or are you going to let your big guy Vode in the back of the end zone just catch it?
I believe at this point we are up 28-0 with in the second half. I take the run. If you don't get in, you take your field goal.
How about we let Zach Vode run the ball?
And that,
Well,
no, they fake that. And Johnston
Riley
takes it in the middle.
Johnston
And that
in
is a
for another touchdown.
for another Brickies touchdown. His second rushing touchdown of the game.
So it looks like he'll just fake out both of us, you know?
Yeah, they did. They made it look like they were doing exactly what Luke said. And that defense followed it all the way. Great play call.
All they could smell was the dirt that Johnston was kicking up.
Exactly. Jankovic looks to stay perfect.
Hobart coaches look to be having a field day right now, but the Griffith coaches, quite the opposite.
Indeed. Griffith seems very limited in its play calling somewhat at this point, seeming to only get success from those long ball plays.
Indeed, and that kick will be good. And we are going to go to Luke. Is there any questions that have not been answered in the YouTube chat?
Not any questions, just another alumni pouring in. Dave Hammond says, hello from Florida, class of 1985. Go Brickies.
Well, hey, shout out to the class of 1985. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching. Please keep your love and support, and give it to us, not to the football team. Just kidding. We all appreciate your support. So, I mean, what do you do now? You're Griffith. You're down 35-0.
Do what you keep doing. You got to chuck it. That's kind of all they've had success on. I say at this point, you just go for whatever points you can get. You're at this point, if you're not scoring on this drive, you're no longer playing to win. You are playing for respect.
I say you try and keep the score as low as possible. It looks like the Griffith offense is just stumble after stumble after stumble.
Very inconsistent, I would have to say.
Indeed.
Only looks to be good with the pass. However, we all know passing is not the only play of the game. You must run, and if you cannot get a running game, then if you cannot, I'm sorry for the pause. Like I was saying, if you cannot get the running game, you cannot score.
No.
There is just no way you can pick up the pace and be able to keep going. You must have both aspects of the game, and your special teams must be on point.
Especially not in high school.
Exactly.
High school, there's going to be too many mistakes in a passing game. There are bound to be interceptions, and that is going to cause you struggle.
But after every single drive,
I would have to agree with you. It is a little bit difficult when you are stopped every single time.
True.
So what looks to be now, since it is 35-0, it will be a running clock for the remainder of the game. It looks like he will be brought down inside
The Griffith 20.
Yes.
At about the 19-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Hoping to get something going on offense. What do you think they're going with? Another pass?
Quite possibly. Quite possibly, That's not your worst option right now. It's what has been producing the best for you indeed.
If I'm Hobart right here, I'm making sure those defensive backs give plenty of cushion because Griffith has done nothing but throw it deep all game to get success.
And it looks like they're going to be trying for that again. He's going to be throwing a deep
almost taken
bomb.
down, and that is almost
very nearly intercepted.
Nearly intercepted. However, nobody will come up with it. And like I had said earlier, it is a running clock. The incomplete pass will not stop the clock.
It is Josh Tejeda on the near interception, number 19.
You remember it. A lot of these Brickies on offense and defense learned from those seniors last year that did take them to semi-state when they were only projected to make it to, I think, the second round of sectionals.
I believe so.
If I'm right.
Yeah.
They had to have learned something, and you can tell right here on the defense alone, they definitely have taught some of their skills.
This Brickies defense is a cornerstone of this team and has been the beating heart and soul of this team for a while now, and it is keeping up the tradition of a strong, very forcing heavy defense. As you can see here from this game with the multitude of fumbles and interceptions.
And it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 3 right on the 27.
And I would also argue that was a big issue for the Brickies on the last game. They were not able to get any turnovers other than the first drive.
Oh, and an incomplete pass will bring up 4th and 3 for the Griffith Panthers on their own 27. If I'm the Panthers right now, just punt it away.
Yeah.
Punt it away. you haven't had luck this entire game. I think we've come up with, what is it, 5 out of the 6 possessions they've had is either a turnover or...
They've punted once, 1 turnover on down, and the rest have been turnovers, yes.
So, I'm sorry, 4 out of 6. But you just don't have the luck.
Almost
And
blocked.
a punt straight up in the air and takes a Hobart bounce. Even more bad fortune for these Panthers.
And it looks like it will be placed right on the 43, I'm sorry. Right on the 43 for the Hobart Brickies. If you're the Hobart Brickies, I, as a senior last year, just wished to punch it down everyone's throats. That way I could give some of the guys that don't play on Friday nights and they play on Saturdays, give them a chance. And that's what every senior hopes to do, especially on senior night.
Indeed.
So for those of you just tuning in, we have a question on the stream. What is the most successful college football franchise excluding the Alabama Tide?
And it looks like it's going to be a run up the middle. Given to Chase Homeke. Good little run. He's going to be pulled out of bounds. Great little run. He's going to be brought down right about what seems the 16 or the 17.
This Hobart Brickies offense is continuing to thrash this Panthers defense with runs, and it's just really demoralizing to watch. Also, like we said earlier, we have a substitute left tackle in James Lewis, who has been just fine at his position this game, doing a great job.
Yes, sadly, Amen Jones-Hicks is on the sideline with crutches. Not something you want to see.
No, not at all.
Looks like it's going to be a short little bit of a gain. It looks to be 2nd and 3.
You don't want to lose your starting left tackle. That's such a important position, protecting that quarterback's blind side and left side. Only hope for the Brickies that this can go well for them for the rest of the year.
On a more positive note, it looks like our favorite little guy, number 1, looks to be asking for a spot.
And it's incomplete.
Yes, that will be incomplete. But right now, that is not a bad decision for the Hobart Brickies, I would have to say.
Walking away, real disappointed, throwing his gloves around. I think he was just told no by the coaches.
Man,
Sits in his seat. Man, that is just unfortunate. You hate to see it.
he snaps off his helmet. Just so upset. But who knows? We may see him come into the game later on. But right now we have the Brickies coming up to the line of scrimmage. It looks to be a run
Another
to the
handoff to
left.
Homeke, and he
And
will score.
He will walk in. That is number 22, Chase Homeke.
Completely untouched. Great blocking by the Brickies. And just no flow to the ball from the Panthers. A little bit of a Superman play there, if I say so myself.
I will have to say, based off the music in the background, very much a Superman play. And right now we have a sophomore kicker, Ryan P. Mattel. Let's see if he can make it in. And the kick is up.
And it is good.
It is good. That is his first extra point ever in a varsity game. Congratulations, P. Mattel.
Ryan P. Mattel, if you didn't know, is actually a 2-sport athlete. He plays with me on the Hobart High School soccer team, if you can believe that. He is the starting varsity goalkeeper.
That would
Wow.
explain why he can kick so well.
Yes, I would say that does explain why he does have a little bit of a leg, I would have to say. Good explanation. So if you're looking for any of those scores over and around the region, go ahead and type it in the chat as well. Let us know who you want to see, who you want to know what the score is, who do you want to know is losing, who do you want to know who's winning. Let us know in the chat. Go ahead and type that out.
Taking a look, you cannot see it right now, but those Hobart linemen are taking a seat right now, and they look like they have just accomplished everything. They have torn up this Panthers defense.
Who was it? I believe it was Mike Brown, your observation, your theory was 50-0 Hobart, and your theory is looking more and more like a reality.
Indeed.
I will say only 8 more points is needed by, I believe they're going to start sending out the JV. Only 8 more points is needed from JV for that to be accomplished. We will see what they do about the defense. You know, Mike Brown, nice job.
Excellent prediction.
Ryan Pimentel will be taking this kick.
And if you guys are just joining in now, a little bit late, a little bit early from the end, whatever you want to consider it, we do have a question going around. Who do you think has the most prolific franchise in college football, excluding Alabama Roll Tide? And if you had missed it just there, the ball was rolled out of bounds because the Griffith receiver let it roll right through his legs, actually. It will be out of bounds. The ball is going to be placed.
I believe it is 15 yards from the spot it goes out. Maybe not in high school.
Quite possibly. Let's see.
We have a asking point for a score update.
Okay.
Avon versus HSE.
Avon versus HSE. Okay. We will work on that soon. We will get that score for you, sir. Please give us one moment. And he is swallowed up by Bobby Babcock.
Actually have a question for us in the booth and for the rest of the people watching. What was the best college game you have ever attended / watched on TV? Name is Marcia Benedek. They say Michigan State versus Purdue. Purdue down 3 touchdowns with 2 minutes left, and Purdue won the 2-minute thrill with Drew Brees.
Okay. I see what it is. You know, this is going to be a run to the outside. We will get to that question in a second. Looks like he's going to be brought down right about the 32. If I was correct. No, that is the 31. I'm sorry. But going back to that question, you know, I don't know if you were here a little bit earlier, ma'am, but I am going to Michigan State, so that does hit me a little deep there. However, I understand that was a very, very amazing game. I will say the most recent game I have seen, and it looks like a false start for the Griffith Panthers. But I will say the most amazing college football game I have seen of recent was, I believe, the 2017 or 2018 College Football Championship, where Clemson came back against Alabama Roll Tide, and it ended with a touchdown from Mr. 13 falling into the back of the end zone. That, I would have to say, is one of the best college football games I've seen.
Hunter Renfro.
I would say Alabama versus, I believe it was Auburn.
Oh, 2013, the kick 6?
2013.
Oh, okay.
Kick came out, ran all the way down, won the game.
Oh,
I would have to say my personal favorite is one of the highest scoring games in recent memory was Oklahoma versus Texas Tech. Was a battle between Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes in 2016. Patrick Mahomes would end up throwing for 800 yards in that game.
Wow.
It was an insane game to watch, and it was a magical experience.
Now, for whoever was wondering about the Avon game, if it is Avon versus HSHS, Avon has sadly lost. It was 38-29.
That same person asked where Tyler Turley is. I believe that they have the JV out for Hobart, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. They are putting the JV out. You will not see a lot of the starters right now.
Vode still seems to be on the field, though. I see a lot of starters, actually.
Well, I do see some of the starters are still going both ways, if you did not know.
Marcia Benedek says, actually, I like Michigan State when they are not playing Purdue.
Oh, okay, Marcia. I see how you roll. I appreciate it. But it's still a little salty. Nice little cut.
Good
He
juke.
stays inside. Gonna go out of bounds there. But like these other fine people are doing, go ahead and comment any questions you have for us in the booth, and we can get to those as fast as possible. We will answer most of your questions. There are some that we just cannot do.
I actually have a question for you. What is the score of Chesterton versus Michigan City?
Oh, that is a very good one. That is one that people are wondering about. That will be found in a short minute.
For those of you that didn't know, the fourth quarter just recently started about 40 seconds ago. Punch from the Griffith Panthers. There's a good bounce for the Panthers. Continues to go down.
And will be down between the 24 and 25. It will be marked at the 25.
So right now it is the fourth quarter of the Chesterton-Michigan City game. It is 21 to Chesterton, 13 to Michigan City. It is actually the end of the game. It had just ended. So sadly, our predictions were not exactly correct. However,
You guessed the right score for Michigan City.
Yes, I did, but however, very good game nonetheless. Very good football around the region, I would have to say, of the 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
And this week is not one to upset. Oh, and it looks like a little bit of a fumble at a snap. He will be swallowed up. It looks like Mark Ensland will be taking the snaps now. Looks like he will be brought down on the 20. It will be 2nd and 15.
All right. Bricky's seeming to just be running the clock now, trying to get this game over.
Well, it's a running clock there.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
they've scored too much. So it doesn't matter what you do now. Let's go ahead and see what happens. A little bit of a mix-up. Chase Homike will be taking the ball out to the right side. He will be brought down about the 27. That will be... We will get the marking in a second. It will be 3rd and 8, I believe.
I've also received another recommendation, not from the chat, but from a person near me, that another one of the greatest college football games of all time was the 2006, I believe, national title between Texas and USC.
Oh, that is one that was so hyped. Both quarterbacks went to the NFL. Both of them, however, ended up not lasting the longest time. But
Vince Young definitely more successful than Leinart, though, I would say, making
yes.
a Pro Bowl.
Yes, I would have to say you are correct. And it looks like they will be brought back 1 yard, so that will be 4th and 9. This is one of the very few times that Hobart has been stopped.
We have a request for a score update. Joyce Cameron asks what the football scores for the Maryville Pirates are.
Okay.
All right, we will have those for you, sir, in a few short moments. Right now, we have the Hobart Brickies taking a punt for one of the very few times they have tonight. I think this is actually the second
It is
punt.
the first, I believe.
The
No,
first?
it was the first drive we punted, I believe.
Oh, it bounces off!
Another
Oh,
fumble,
my
and
goodness.
the Brickies have recovered.
Another mental mistake by Griffith. That is the story of the game right now. It looks like it will be brought to the 49 and will be a 1st and 10.
And an update on that Maryville game. Actually, currently, Maryville, I believe actually it's final, but I'm not 100% sure. It says it is quarter 4. Maryville is destroying Crown Point 35-0.
And I will say Maryville still showing very dominant in this game. Well, in that game, not this game. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Perhaps no shame for the Brickies.
No shame at all, hey. So the snap will be taken and will be handed off to Chase Homike.
A little bit of a low snap and a bit of confusion, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a mix-up in the backfield. It is okay, though, because the Brickies are still up 42-0. And it looks like they will be brought back another 4 yards and what looks to be the opposite 47. That will be 2nd and 15.
You think Mr. Brown's prediction for the score 50-0 will become reality?
Only if they go for 2.
You know, Mr. Brown, I'm going to have to talk to you man on man. You may be correct. You may be wrong.
I might have to question Mr. Brown's power because he has just straight up almost predicted the perfect score for this game. Unless this drive stalls out.
Yeah, this drive is not looking the best for the Brickies right now. However, you must remember that these are JV players.
That is true.
And these JV players are getting some of their first experiences on Friday night.
I believe that actually the current quarterback is Mark Enslin, the running back for the Brickies.
Well, I actually believe you're right.
He has been the backup quarterback to Riley Johnston for a while now. And now that he's also starting at running back, he is once again another multi-purpose player that Hobart just seems to have a multitude of.
Like I said earlier, Swiss Army knife. And Chase Homike just running through, trying to get as many yards as he can. However, it will still be 4th down. It looks to be 4th and 12.
And it seems that I would assume that the Brickies are going to punt.
Oh, I would almost say most definitely.
Yes.
You see Coach Osika consoling some of those linemen. You know, they are very upset. They want to win in front of this home crowd. However, he knows that this is still varsity caliber.
Indeed. Jankovic this time back to punt instead of Vode.
Really, that just shows how good the Hobart varsity team is.
Indeed. Yeah, it really just, they can truly
Great
shine.
punt. Dropped it.
Dropped again.
Oh,
but
my
it is
goodness.
Back. Wow. Looked like it was almost given back to Hobart in even more yardage. Very close.
Another questionable decision to even try to field that ball. It was a very short kick, and he ran up on it very quickly, but almost was falling to catch the ball. No really reason to do so.
You know, let's see what this JV defense can do. You still have some of those varsity guys up front assisting some of these guys. Let's see. You have some in the deep back. You just hope that they still keep the shutout alive. The ball will be placed what seems to be on the 28. And the Panthers will be coming up to the line of scrimmage. We will see what Griffith responds with a little bit of less hardness up front.
Back to pass once again.
Looking deep, throwing deep. Oh, he might be burned. Let's see if there's a flag. There is no flag.
Seems an uncatchable ball, perhaps.
Quite possibly threw it over him just a little too far. It will be 2nd and 10 for these Griffith Panthers. And we go to Luke. Is there any other questions that we have in the live chat? Any recommendations? Anything that people want us to say?
No, there is not, sir. All we have is just a couple compliments from Joyce Cameron. She says, "Thanks, guys. You guys are doing great jobs. Keep up the good work."
Thank you, Joyce.
Very appreciated.
Thank you, Joyce. We really do appreciate it. Like we had just said, if you guys have anything you would like us to shout out, if you want us to shout you out, if you have any answers to questions, any questions you want us to answer, go ahead and type it in the chat. This is a very long run from Griffith. He will be brought down right about the 45.
By number 23, Julian Ruiz, I believe.
I actually have a question. Have we gotten an update on the Andrean game?
I can get that right now.
Go ahead.
All right. Update on the Maryville game, my bad. It is now 42-0. They are up.
Oh, wow. Almost, it is exactly what ours is. And like we just said, we will have that Andrean score for you really shortly. It is another run by Maryville. However, very nice tackle by a Matt Supernaut. He will be marked down at the 49. It will be what seems to be third and 6, or second and 6, I'm sorry.
It appears there is a actual live commentary on Max Preps for the game at Andrean, and the most recent update was 42-14, Andrean winning currently.
Nice pitch out to
Who are
the
they
running
playing?
back.
Oh, Andrean is playing, I believe, New Prairie.
Very strong game over at Andrean. That ball was taken out of bounds by Julian Ruiz on the tackle. He will be marked down what seems to be the 36.
Just under a minute left.
This will be a first down, and the clock is winding down. Let's see if this Hobart defense can stand tall for the last 45 seconds and see if they can keep this shutout.
And sorry to Mike Brown, your prediction will not be fulfilled in all likelihood.
Game's not totally over, though. Could be a pick six
Oh,
leading
big
into a
mix-up in the backfield, and just
hit
tackles being
4
missed.
times.
A barrage of bricks being thrown at him. It was just pain after pain. That was hit after hit. Not what you want from your running back, or for your running back, however.
Looks like it will be placed as 2nd and 20. Or I should say 2nd and 19, sorry.
Trying to get the ball off, it appears.
There is only 4 seconds. This is make or break.
And
Let's see
trying
what
for
happens,
a
ladies
desperate
and
scoring
gentlemen.
attempt.
And there it goes.
And
Well,
it will
there
be
is the
over.
end of the game.
It will be 42-0. Your Hobart Brickies. Congratulations to the Hobart Brickies. Thank you all for attending. Please stay after to watch the ceremony of the home team singing the fight song. If you guys have any last-minute questions, concerns, comments, please type it in the chat so we can answer those really fast. And once again, we just would love to thank some of our sponsors. Thank you to Aloso Construction. Thank you to the Fuller Commercial Photography. And obviously, of course, thank you to the School City of Hobart. Like I had said before, if any of you viewers would like to become a part of these sponsors, please send us your monies. We are just kidding, but a donation would be greatly appreciated, and we will put you as a sponsor. And once again, if you are just now joining in, the score is 42-0, Griffith Panthers. I mean, Hobart Brickies, I'm sorry. The Hobart Brickies are 42-0.
Yes.
I hope you guys knew that. I'm sorry.
There's a big display, they know.
Yeah, a little difficult. It was okay. So sadly, Mike Brown, your prediction was wrong. However, it was the closest. I wish we could give you a prize, but we can't. We are broke high school and college students. Thank you guys for coming once again. We appreciate all of the love and support. If you have any last-minute questions, go ahead and ask us. We will get that for you as soon as possible.
I have a comment here from Wavy Fresh. They say, "Hello, Will."
Hello, Wavy Fresh. If you could go ahead and refresh my memory what your name is so I could just better understand who you are, that would be greatly appreciated.
There they go.
And here we go. We have a view of the Hobart Brickies ringing the bell. It is run every win of the season. It will be ran 2 times tonight. We are now going to send you guys over to the fight song that the Hobart Brickies are coming to get ready for. Like I said before, this is a tradition by the Hobart Brickies. Whenever they win a game, they come over and they sing the fight song. All you alumni from Hobart, please sing along at home. We will not judge you. It is a tradition at Hobart High School. Thank you once again for coming to the live showing of the Hobart Brickies versus Griffith Panthers. Have a good night, stay safe, and be safe from this pandemic. Thank you all for viewing.